Chapter 11, The Morning After. The bright morning light seeped through the curtains of the hotel as Celine's persistent nudging pulled Aubrey from the depths of her post-party haze. "Come on, wake up," Celine said, barely containing a smirk. "You look like you've been out for a century." Aubrey groaned, her hand flailing to swat Celine away. "Okay, I'm up," she mumbled, her voice muffled by the pillow. "Where's Memphis?" "He was showering when I came in. Probably trying to scrub off the shame of having to cart you out of the club like a sack of potatoes," Celine said. "What time is it?" Aubrey's voice was thick with sleep. "Just past 8. Rise and shine, sleepyhead." Aubrey's groan was cut short as Memphis emerged from the bathroom, the steam clouding around him like a misty halo. Wrapped in just a towel, his presence did little to alleviate the pounding in her head. "Morning, babe," he said with a lopsided smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "How's the head?" "Feels like it's split in two," Aubrey said, shielding her eyes from the too bright room as she sat up. "I need a gallon of water and a miracle." Memphis chuckled, his laugh sounding forced as he disappeared back into the bathroom. Aubrey's gaze followed him, a frown forming as she noted the tension in his shoulders. As she turned back to Celine, who was bouncing with energy, Aubrey braced herself for another round of her sister's recounting of the night's adventures. "So, what did I miss after my grand exit?" Celine's grin widened. "Oh, the usual post-midnight debauchery. Cameron was all over me, which was fun, but the real kicker was at Julian and Hanna's place." She leaned in, and her voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. "Hanna's offered me a gig modeling for her new swimsuit line. Imagine that." Aubrey raised an eyebrow, her interest piqued despite the throbbing in her head. "Really? Hanna Rouge wants you for her swimsuit campaign?" "That's unexpected." "Yeah, well, I can be quite charming when I want to be," Celine said as she flipped back her hair. "And it seems I've left quite the impression on both Hanna and Cameron. They've been blowing up my phone all morning." "And what about Aiden?" Aubrey's question sliced through the playful banter, her tone serious. Celine shrugged, her casual demeanor not quite reaching her eyes. "Aiden's just a friend. Nothing more." Aubrey wasn't convinced, but before she could press further, Memphis reappeared, fully dressed this time. His damp hair and the fresh scent of soap did little to mask the undercurrent of unease that seemed to cling to him. "We need to get moving if we're going to make it to the set on time," he said, checking his watch. Aubrey nodded and pushed herself out of bed. "I'm on it." She passed Memphis and paused to kiss his cheek. He smiled in response, but the smile didn't quite mask the shadow in his eyes. As she retreated to the bathroom, Aubrey missed the way Memphis' smile faltered, the way his hand brushed his cheek where her lips had been, and the silent sigh that escaped him. The remnants of last night, of decisions made, and lines crossed, weighed on him, a guilt that was becoming harder to disguise. Celine sat on the bed, and scrolled through her messages. The glow of her screen lit up a dangerous glint in her eyes. She wasn't just caught up in the drama, she was orchestrating it. And Memphis stood in the middle of it all. A man stretched thin between two worlds, one anchored in love, the other in temptation. His eyes settled on the bathroom door, where Aubrey was doing her best to put herself together. Unaware. Unprepared. And walking straight into the storm.